1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The BIMSTEC summit begins in Colombo. The Indian Foreign Minister meets the Finance Minister. India assures to provide more financial assistance to Sri Lanka. It has been expressed that there is no gas shortage in the hospitals. All arrangements are ready to provide water needed for the Yala season. Ukraine rejects possible referendum in separatist-controlled regions. News in detail. The 5th Bay of Bengal initiative for the Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation Summit, hosted by the Government of Sri Lanka, commenced in Colombo today. The summit will be held at the BMICH in hybrid mode with in-person and virtual participation from the 28th to the 30th of this month. The senior officials and the foreign ministers of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal and Thailand have arrived in Sri Lanka for the BIMSTEC senior officials meeting and ministerial meeting scheduled to be held on the 28th and 29th of March 2022 respectively, while the foreign minister of Myanmar will participate virtually. The President of Sri Lanka will chair the 5th BIMSTEC summit on the 30th of March this year with the virtual participation of leaders of Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, India, Thailand. Myanmar will be represented by Foreign Minister of Myanmar at the summit. During the summit and preceding meetings, the delegates will discuss the progress of the BIMSTEC as a regional group. The External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, arrived in the island last night to attend the summit. During his stay in the country, he will meet several government heads. A discussion between the External Minister of India and Minister Basil Rajapaksa was held this morning. He said he will dedicate to provide further financial assistance. He is scheduled to meet the President today as well. Director of the Water Management Unit of the Irrigation Department said that water required for the farmers for the Yala season will be released. The farmer communities need not fear in this regard. He said there are more than 67% of water at the irrigational reservoirs. Therefore, the farmers can begin their Yala season cultivating without fear. The District Secretary of Nuwara Eliya District, Nandana Galabode, said that the Saubhagya Village production program is being carried out in the district successfully. 20 villagers in the 5 divisional secretariat divisions have been selected for this purpose. More attention has been focused on export-related products. The government has given 108 million rupees to implement these projects. The government is expected to provide more essential food items during the festive season. The facility has been expanded under the Indian Loan Assistance. The State Ministry of Coconut Development is also ready to provide coconut and coconut oil at concessionary prices as well. At present, the price of a bottle of coconut oil has been exceeded by 650 rupees. The Ministry of Industries has stated that the central bank will be mediated to provide a solution to the shortage of papers. Measures have been taken to upgrade the paper production in the country. Minister S.P. Dissanayaka said that the difficulties in opening letters of credit has been the cause for this issue. The Ministry of Environment will commence a program on environment conservation, Mikadata Kandemo. Accordingly, the lands which were damaged due to improper tree cutting will be preserved. At present, 950 such lands which were not rehabilitated after excavation have been identified by the Geological Survey and the Mines Bureau. Under this program, 25 acres of Ilupan Kulama in Trincomalee were rehabilitated yesterday. Chairman of the Trade Union Alliance on Doctors and Civil Rights, Dr. Chamal Sanjeeva, said that it is timely need to begin a relief insurance scheme for the doctors. He pointed out that there is no insurance scheme implemented for the doctors as set, as there are many trade unions of doctors. They have not paid attention in this regard. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunadhana, says there is no truth to the statements made by certain trade unions that the activities of hospitals have been severely hampered due to the shortage of gas. He said that it was revealed during the discussions with the relevant authorities, including hospital directors, that the supply of gas is continuing with priority given to the hospital system. Addressing the media in Colombo, the Director General of Health Services said they spoke to the heads of institutions as well as provincial directors of health services and the regional directors regarding the matter, that confirmed that their respective gas supplies has given priority to the hospitals. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
More prizes, more gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
In Watchlight, the residents in Meegangadura area has complained that they are facing threat of wild elephants. They said that the herd of elephants are always loitering in suburban areas. Therefore, the people are in fear of travelling. The elephants are also damaging their crop cultivations. They request the Director of Wildlife of the Southern Province of Lunugambehera to chase them away to the forest reserve. And that was Watchlight.
More prizes, more gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines: Ukraine rejects possible referendum in separatist-controlled regions. More Ukraine evacuees head for Romania by ship. Arab foreign ministers arrive in Israel for a conference with the U.S. Secretary General. World News in detail. The head of pro-Russian separatists who effectively control parts of Ukraine's Luhansk region has expressed disbelief that a referendum will be held in the area in the near future to decide whether to join Russia. Leonid Paskunik spoke to reporters yesterday. A Russian news agency reported that the referendum is supported by lawmaker Andrei Klehaus, who heads the Constitutional Legislation Committee in Russia's upper house. Klehaus reportedly said Russia has recognized the sovereignty of the Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics, and the authorities of these republics have the right to make decisions in accordance with their constitutions. Will Smith hits Chris Rock in the face on stage at the Oscars after comic made a joke about the actor's wife Jada Pinkett Smith, referring to Pinkett Smith's shaved hairdo. Rock said, "Jada can't wait for G.I. Jane 2. Smith walked up on stage and struck Rock before returning to his seat and shouting, 'Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.' Smith later apologized in a tearful Best Actor acceptance speech. 'I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees,' Smith said after winning the first Oscar of his career for playing the father of tennis legend Venus and Serena Williams in King Richard. A two-day conference began yesterday between Israel Foreign Minister Yair Lapid and his visiting counterpart of the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, Egypt, in southern Israel's Negev desert. It marks the first time that Israel holds a meeting with Arab foreign ministers. U.S. State Secretary Antony Blinken will participate in the conference today, according to a statement from Lapid's office. Back to the headlines of the world news. Ukraine rejects possible referendum in separatist-controlled regions. More Ukrainian evacuees head for Romania by ship. Arab foreign ministers arrive in Israel for conference with the U.S. Secretary General. And that ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by... Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Bairapura Weekly Fair will be developed as a production-selling centre of farmer communities of the Mahaveli Left Bank by the Hambantota Pradesh Sabha. Two buildings have been constructed to sell their retail goods, clothes and other goods. 167 million rupees has been spent in this regard, and that was development news.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Gujarat Titans will face Lucknow Super Giants in the ongoing Indian Premier League today at 7:30 p.m. at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. This will be the first match for both the new franchises, and they will be keen to get off to a good start in the tournament. Both teams have talented players in their squads, and it will be interesting to see how they perform for the new franchise. Bhanuka Rajapaksa's super batting was helped to take the victory of Punjab Kings team at yesterday's match. Canada beat Jamaica 4-0 to reach their first Men's World Cup in 36 years. Victory in Toronto means Canada are assured of finishing in one of the top three places in the final stage of the CONCACAF qualifying. Their last World Cup appearance came at Mexico 1986, where they finished bottom of their group without scoring. Cy Larin and Tarjan Buchanan put Canada 2-0 up at half-time before Junior Hoylett and Adrian Mariappa own goal sealed the victory. And that is sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Colombo stock market will conduct a series of programs of the Britain Roadshow. The aim of this move is to attract more direct investments. The support of London stock market will also be obtained in this regard. An investment forum has been organised this morning by the Securities and Exchange Commission Council of Sri Lanka High Commissioner Office in Bahrain. Around 60 investments in London are to participate at the forum. And that is Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Rewriting Sri Lanka's aviation history, Ratmalane Airport, Colombo International Airport resumed international flights after 54 years, with Maldivian Airlines commencing direct flights to Malé. This would be a thrice-a-week flight. In addition, the Ratmalane Airport also opened for the night traffic, allowing flights to land even after dark. Earlier this time was at 6 p.m. In other historic move, ground operations at Ratmalane Airport will be handled by the Airport and Aviation Company. Previously, it was the Sri Lankan Airlines company that handled ground operations at this airport. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamu's central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. That was the weather report, and to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The BIMSTEC summit begins in Colombo. The Indian Foreign Minister meets the Finance Minister. India assures to provide more financial assistance to Sri Lanka. It has been expressed that there is no gas shortage in the hospitals. All arrangements are ready to provide water needed for the Yala season. Ukraine rejects possible referendum in separatist-controlled regions. And with that, we end this news broadcast.